Okay. Hello. Welcome. Later start to the stream today. Very late start to the stream. I like my dumpy little, Switch dungeon crawler, okay? So sue me. Got plenty of VODs. You take a VOD, you sit on it. It's fine. How's everybody doing today? I was doing math as well. Let me show you. Let me show you some of the math I did. Because I'm trying to figure out like the most effective way to farm Bracky. You can't see that. So on the left side, we have blast applications and total. Oh, you know what I should do? Hold on. I mean, the secondary advantage, so the left columns are blast, the right columns are poison. Secondary advantage to blast is there's at least a better than 0 chance of landing a blast proc on either the pounders or the horn. And if that happens and it breaks it a little bit easier, especially the horn, that makes the fight a little bit easier for me. So the lefter columns are status application thresholds, and the right column is cumulative damage. So the total amount of damage. The lefter, whatever, leftmost, but it's not leftmost. The lefter, because then there's two parallel columns. Don't worry about it, okay? It's not that hard to figure out. It makes sense if you're me. That's a you problem, not a me problem. Dude, it did kind of look like the blast proc heated up Agnactor's chest. I don't know that I remember that being a thing. But I guess it is a thing. So, there you go. It's just strange to me, like, I was going through the list of monsters, because I was trying to find... Let's just take a look. We'll just go through the entire list of monsters in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I'm like trying to make a case for poison here. And it's not easy. Blast, you have to remember, I mean, you usually get a flinch and a part break out of it, so there's literally, like, actually, like, secondary advantages. So, you know, I mean, at 1600 tolerance with Dire Morales, Blast, I would say, is just better. You're going to get so many more off. Elatrion, same deal. You're going to get so many more blasts off. Jen doesn't even take Blast. Devil Joe and Savage Devil Joe is like the one instance where I'd say poison is better. But it's not a lot better. It's just like a little bit better. Sideus doesn't even take poison. Bracky, like, if you had really, really, really good poison, and it was going to be like a longer fight against like Super Bracky or something, I could see poison winning out in the long run. But in the short run, Blast is better. Plesioth poison is much better, but I mean, what are you farming poison for? Can't you use poison meat on Joe? You're only going to really get one application out of that. Achi, hello. Zenogre and Stygian is actually very interesting. Much better damage from poison. I had no idea they took this much poison damage. But then again, you can get a lot more blast procs out. So it kind of works out anyways. Like, you can kind of go either way. The blast is nice because you'll get those flinches. Lucent, blast is just better. Green Narga, It could go kind of either way, but I'd go Blast. Ignactor Poison is reasonable. It's got such a long duration, though. It takes 2 minutes for it to deal its damage. You could probably get multiple blasts off by the time that anything would happen. Blast is fine on Abyssal. Doesn't the Bracky Switch Axe have more raw than the other status Switch Axes, though? It ends up at 220 versus 200 for Rathian. Rathian is technically easier to make, though. But yeah, I mean, 20 raw is significant. And it just goes down the list. Bracky Switch Axe is better, sharpness-wise. It gets a little bit more blue than the Rathian Switch Axe, at least, so. The hardest part is you got to get the Bracky Gem, and the Bracky Gem is not an easy drop. I mean, in low rank, or sorry, in high rank, you're fighting for 1 or 2% drop rates, which means it's gonna be a couple hunts, probably. I mean, we've already done some. The hunts that we did were with a Plesioth Switch Axe, which had 160 raw and sleep, which we didn't get very good sleeps off. This is 190 raw with 20 slime? 22 slime. Do it while hunter rank grinding? I mean, my hope is to be able to get an upgraded Bracky Switch Axe so we can fly through the remainder quests. No, capping would not be better. It's the same rate. It's a 2% car versus a 2% capture reward. I mean, capping isn't much worse because obviously you could just finish the quest that much faster, and that's kind of a good thing, right? Happy birthday? Thank you. It is not my birthday, but thank you. So that's the only reason why you would cap is you don't care about like the third carve chance and you just want the fight to be over, which honestly is probably it's probably the way to do it anyways, because he's that final 10% health. I mean, he's a butthole. He is really annoying. Funny thing is, if you eat for Pyro, assuming it pops up. Go for a weakener. It actually increases your slime damage. Happy 28th birthday. I turned 27 this year. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad somebody remembered. Glad somebody cared. The only other thing you can do, and it's not worth it, is you could go super hard in finishing all the quests and then doing the final village quest has 4% drop rate on Bracky Gems, which is, something. It's not nothing. So normally when we were fighting him, today is not my birthday. Normally when we were fighting him, it was taking like 20 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes. I'm hoping to get that down to 15. I'm hoping the extra slime damage will get us there. Oh, it's my birthday. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Pay me. Ugh. Sprinkle all that cheddar over my chest and eat it. So in the realm of other streamers who have also been jilted on getting keys for their respective game, I guess Distortion 2 didn't get an early key for Elden Ring, which is completely insane. I don't know how that happened. How does that happen? Is this full laggy set with Rathalos bracers? It is. It's almost useless on Bracky. The only place that weakness exploit procs is like his head. Reach out to him and have a support group? I don't necessarily want or need to have a pity party. Yeah, no, Distortion's huge. There's no, you don't have to beat around the bush. I mean, he's a very large streamer, very dedicated streamer. Puts the time in for sure. We've both been singled out before for streaming too much from time to time. I mean, the funny thing is, it's like, he definitely, like somebody should have known. You know what I mean? Like, for me, like, I may be, like, kind of large in Monster Hunter on Twitch, but I'm still a micro streamer. You know what I mean? Like, if you're on the platform at all, you've probably seen Distortion streams, like, in the recommended. I did. I'm gonna run away. I mean, he speedruns a lot of games, right? I mean, that's his... God, that's a lot of green sharpness. I think I'm just gonna stay in axe mode. It's so dangerous to ever be in sword mode against him. Unless he's tripped. Sometimes it's all it takes, ProCal. Not always, but sometimes you just have to actually, like, you know, get some form of publicity. At the same time, plenty of people get, you know, huge raids from time to time, and they don't keep any viewers at all. It's not a matter of just having them show up, it's having them stick around as well. I'm your Monster Hunter streamer? Okay. I like the challenge runs that Lobos was doing for a while. Like, I think he was the first one that really got into Dark Souls Randomizer. That was really neat. I think that's the head. Well, there goes the horn. Like, remember what I was saying before the fight? I said a good slime proc will break the head for us. There you go. That's exactly what I was talking about. There's a streamer you watch that when he gets raided, he immediately tells people to follow. It's funny and it works. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you get raided and that's... I guess it's better than not. I don't know. What's the worst that can happen? Nowadays, there's so many people streaming on Twitch, I don't think people have to worry so much about stealing each other's viewers. It's not like, you know, there's like 5 guys on the platform. There's literally infinite types of content. Why wouldn't you say that? I mean, it might be a little disrespectful to be like, hey, this streamer that sent you over, don't watch his stream, watch my stream instead. I mean, at least you could, you know, you could sometimes get the impression of that. But I mean, it's not necessarily true. I mean, there's plenty of room for many streamers. Oh yeah, no, I mean on YouTube 100%. If you're watching my video, I'm going to be shilling my Twitch and asking for likes and comments and subscriptions. But I mean, that's, you know, that's a little different than, like, you know, having somebody raid you, be like, yo, follow the channel, subscribe, join the sheep herd. But on YouTube, you just have to. 30% damage on the leg, by the way. So
Fire
rough.
Cannon 85 just gifted 1 sub.
Fire Cannon, thank you. Stealth God, not so stealthy anymore, are you? It's true. A follow is just a follow. And if you don't want to follow, then you won't. I mean, that streamer you're talking about that was saying if you could afford a Chipotle, you could afford to subscribe to her. Actually started doing better. Like getting better stream numbers after that because it was publicity for her stream. This feels like I'm doing slightly better damage. I'm gonna go slow for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you want to do the drama stream. I mean, look, drama is ultimately entertainment, whether or not that's the lifestyle and brand you want to have. It's a personal decision. Content creator and oh. From here on, all your weapons going to be Brachydios? No. I'm going to be making an Elemental Switch Axe. I mean, I don't know what you mean by all my weapons. Have you seen me use anything other than Switch Axe? I'll probably end up making the Dire Morales Switch Axe at some point. I'm going over here. I gotta eat this. And I probably don't need to sharpen, but I'm going to sharpen anyways. I mean, we were going through the monster list. It's just so few monsters where slime doesn't work. Like, even on Bracky. It doesn't make any sense, but slime works on them. Can't remember what the Dire Morales weapons look like. They look great. Some good-looking weapons. Most monsters, if you're in axe mode, like, you can maneuver around them well enough. No Raging Bracky 3U? Nope. Forget if he was added in 4 or 4U. I would assume 4U, but I really don't know. It's just like a lot of the endgame monsters are very weak to fire. And for Dire Morales specifically, like, you just have to farm him. For you? Yeah, I'm not sure if I trust fandom on that, but it's probably right. Only in the sense that wikis have definitely gone downhill. Is that gonna hit me? I don't even know if I could hit him here. All right. I don't want to melt to death. No Adept Dual Blades? Man, his elemental hit zones, like, no matter what you do, everything just sucks. Cut the tail? The tail would be nice. It would give us an extra 2% chance at getting a gem. But I'm not like ride or die tail here. Oh shoot, we missed the pinfall. explosions are very low. Tail has a 7% gem chance. Maybe for G rank, not for high rank. Should we wait for pallium grinding? I mean, is it any worse, really? How did that, like, explode me and apply slime at the same time? It's actually 2%. I know, that's what I said. Shinies are 1%. What is he doing? I've never seen a punch 4 times in a row. Hey, has KFC wronged you in some way, Pro-Cal? What happened? Oh, that health recovery, it was huge. I want to get that pounder. Dude, I would be fully on board with a specific law to punish retailers that shortchange you on your fried chicken. Gotta go in. And were they just like really, I think I remember you saying that, Pro-Cal. Were they like really busy or something? I don't understand. I don't understand how that happens. We got the flinch. Cut tail and not real gamer? I'm not going for the tail. I don't need any more tails. I just want to kill him. What's the exclusive KFC Mountain Dew? This is, like, actually a nightmare without evasion or evade distance. Like, the more I fight him, the more I realize, like, those skills would actually be specifically very nice on him. It's a lemonade Mountain Dew? That actually sounds pretty good. They still do walking streams? I walk off stream now because I was finding that in video editing, I was able to pick up some of the treadmill stuff. I mean, on average, I walk like 3 miles a day while I play Switch games. And yeah, I'm using the compact treadmill still. It was like $300. I'm not even going to tell you the brand. If you go on Amazon, they're all made by the same company, theoretically, in China. So, don't... You know, you're just going to be profiting whatever random person decided to slap a name or brand on it, you know? Was that Kayamba exploding on me again? I would recommend it, though. It's very nice playing playing a Switch with Joy-Cons at your side. Like, I love my Thrustmaster. It is not natively compatible on the Switch. The Switch just kind of works out very nicely for that. A lot of Switch games also kind of are suited for it as well. I mean, I would say find the one that appears to have the features that you want within reason. There's a limp. Find that walking while playing video games makes you walk the treadmill by accident? You'll get used to it. So this definitely is faster. This is almost 7 minutes faster with the Bracky Switch Axe compared to the Plesioth Switch Axe. I guess we could go for the tail. We did get some hits on the tail. Why is he roaring while he's exhausted? I mean, the treadmill, you know, when they say a compact treadmill, like, it still takes up space 100%, but it's really not much. If you're renting and you're not worried about messing up the floors, it's like, it's got wheels and stuff. You can move it around pretty easily. I almost feel like I should just capture him. It's like, how badly do you want that extra card? Yeah, if you're in a studio, I would say it's not viable. Unless you've got, like, the world's most luxurious studio. Or unless it's really, really, really worth it to you. I was kind of looking at some other under-desk exercise things, but none of them really seemed worth it. We're going to go for bombs. I think we're going to try and blow them up. With the Shakalakas, we should get 4 bombs. So it should be the equivalent of 5 bombs if he's sleeping. Well, I mean, that all depends on the Rhinopolis, I guess. The Kayamba's dead. I was looking at rowing machines too, and that just feels like, I mean, obviously it's effort. Like, you're not going to be able to really do much if you're rowing. Whereas a treadmill, you can put it at 3 miles an hour and walk a very long time. I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, I would say cutting the tail is probably worth it. But I wouldn't say necessarily, like, going for the kill is worth it over just capturing him. We'll just do that from now on. I mean, we're only talking about 1 extra micro chance of getting a gem. Any lift versus card? Well, lifting is extremely good. Lifting is like, the time spent is well worth it compared. I mean, I don't know. I've never really rode before, so I could be wrong about that. But I feel like it wouldn't. It's somewhere like in between cardio and lifting. But whereas lifting, you can be done in 45 minutes. I feel like rowing, you got to be doing that for a while. You squat for cardio? I don't think that counts. The Shakas can actually get stuff for me, right? The McDonald's ignored your order and gave you 4 McRibs instead? What is this cursed luck, Pro Cow? Were they any good? I heard the McRibs are getting worse. Like the quality is like really slipping on the quality control for those McRibs. Anything that increases heart rate is cardio? I mean, if you're doing any exercise at all, obviously, like, at least you're doing something, right? Anything is better than nothing. Playing Monster Hunter is cardio? You joined a yoga class on campus? How is that? Dude, so, alright. The new McRib is worse? Your wife and you got a corgi? Oh, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. I guess we're gonna have a lot of Bracky parts to sell. I guess money shouldn't be an issue for a while. I would do yoga. I'm just, you know, I'm not at the point yet where I want to be sitting around in a room, huffing everyone's air and recycled farts, you know? Maybe in like a year. Because I've got some like major flexibility issues. Always have. It's a big room for social distancing. I mean that would be, you know, if it was outdoors, I wouldn't have a problem. Your older brother's a yoga instructor? I mean, like I said, is he do it outdoors? They're saying though that the Pfizer's like making a pill, like a real cure. You got the coronavirus. It's just gonna fix you up. Very exciting. Could be a game changer. I mean, I just set up a pretty nice like downstairs gym area. Like I've got like a lot of gym mats. It's just a matter of throwing on the Sarah Ivanhoe, you know. That's my lady. Get out of the way, you rock tool. I guess if he's gonna trip, I gotta hit his legs. Game Changer makes invading monsters invade basically 100% of the time. And I think it's got something to do with sizes as well. At least that was the theory at one point. It would make larger or crowns more likely to appear. But I don't know if that's actually true. of those fireballs are for damage. Why would you want a monster to invade? There are some monsters that only show up in invasions in this game. I mean, specifically, I'm just thinking of Savage Devil Joe. If you want Savage Devil Joe to show up, you got to do Game Changer. Unless you're doing one of the event quests with him. But before the event quest, I think that was the way to fight him. I remember specifically there was a Green Narga quest you would eat for Game Changer. Then hoping he would show up. I think he showed up 100% of the time. No, not speedrun stuff. Like, literally, like, casual progression playthrough. If you wanted Savage Devil Joe stuff, I think you had to do that. And then I'm pretty sure you had to capture to get Black Blood. Can't remember. We're gonna have to fight him eventually. He's not really recognized in the game as a separate monster. You don't need to fight Savage Devil Joe to unlock Hollow Gen Moran. That looked like that hit. I saw slime coming off of it at the last explosion. That's not going to hit anything. Does he have unique equipment? I think you need some of his stuff for some Devil Joe upgrades for his weapons. But it's been a long time, and I haven't looked at it recently, so I can't really tell you. This is doing include Frontier. Frontier is not available to be played, unfortunately. I would love it if it included Frontier, but we do not live in a just society. Put it to you this way, if Frontier was available to be played, we'd be streaming it right now. Can you not cancel discharge in the game? You just gotta stop pressing the button. But I was hoping I'd get lucky. Monster Hunter Online was canceled basically the same time as Monster Hunter Frontier. I hope he eats. Man, he moves. How is that not broken? Well, I guess the head's broken. Look how he twerks when eating? He's excited. Oh, wow. Very lucky when my health recovered. Alright, so I want to sharpen now. Because I was just running after him while he was running, exhausted. Like, you can't really pause to sharpen. Oh. No. Get out of here. It's fine. There is a restriction on gaming time per day for children in China. You think it crosses out all the benefits I said yesterday? I'm not sure what benefits I was talking about. I don't think it's 90 minutes per day. I think it's like 90 minutes per day on the weekend. Like, I don't think they're even allowed to play it during the weekdays. Now, there's some pretty brutal censorship stuff going on in China that I'm not a fan of. I love Winnie the Pooh. I'm simultaneously one of the... I mean, I just call it the way it is. I'm neither pro nor anti-China. I say just enough things about both ends to piss off everyone, so... Yeah, I think it's like 90 minutes per week. It's definitely not 90 minutes per day. Which I'm sure is even more horrifying for you, if you already thought 90 minutes per day was horrible. Offline I mean, they can't really restrict your offline video games, right? Juice, that sounds correct. How do they have the highest number of players in esports? I mean, they got a lot of people, man. They got a big population. I mean, once you're an adult, I mean, you do whatever you want, right? For the most part. I mean, you're also acting like these laws are actually enforced. I mean, it's not going to be like a government agent coming to your house, shutting down everything if your kid is playing like 2 hours of League of Legends a day. You know, they do VPNs in 2. Did you get a promise from Mr. Boo that children will spend all free time on your streams? Have you never heard me say that Taiwan is my favorite country and Chiang Kai-shek is the greatest hero the world has ever known? A true hero for democracy and the human way of life. 50 cents are on the line, I know. Yeah, I guess if you're playing like I could see like them like making an exception for like actual competitive esports. Yeah, China wants to win stuff. You prefer Taiwan's child? Are you a racist? What is with all the racist people coming in the streams lately? Like, I've had to ban, like, at least 2 or 3 people, like, the last week. I'm just gonna do that. Just write it out in the appeal, please. Just let me figure out there. Thank you. I don't get, like, is there like some sort of like campaign out there? I don't understand. What did he say? Something that got him banned that he can explain in the mod review. Like, I feel like everybody thinks, like, for some reason, like, you get a free pass if, like, you're racist to Chinese people. Like, you don't get a free pass. Like, that is not how that works. You know? It's really bizarre. Ban appeal stream 1? So we can review all the racists? Okay. You only get a free pass to bully streamer? Only if you're funny. And then if you're even a little bit racist, you're getting banned, so. It's seriously 2 people within like 48 hours that I've had to like ban because of like anti-Chinese racism. We can laugh at all the racists. You want to give them a platform? That's the thing that you don't understand. At that point, it's like, yay! No. Ban and then forget them. High rank or G rank? High rank. G rank Bracky moves way faster. Ban appeal stream patrons? I'm not going to do it. You guys, you don't understand. It's not like funny ban appeals like, streamer, you look funny. No. 90% of bans are for people doing like racist crap. It's not. No. That's not how it works. I'm sorry. You want content? Okay. Well, go find any other stream on Twitch where I guess they just let racists hang out. But it's like, it's not funny. It's like dumb as hell. Banana peel stream? Yes. I'm sure there's some okay content in there. Was this? That was a lot faster. I'm not going for the tail. I'm going for the capture. This one might be slightly larger. Pancakes is not there. His final ban that he did appeal, and he groveled, by the way. I sent him the link to the Twitch brand safety score, and I said sorry, but not sorry. Sorry. He's your hero. He groveled in the end. Don't know what to tell you. I'll remember him, I guess. Who was Pancakes? He was just a troll in chat. He was funny sometimes, and then sometimes not funny. Inconsistent. Sometimes he had some really good lines. Sometimes it was just lazy. Brand safety is a bogus ideology? I mean, easy to say when you have to appease. I mean, I'm like, I don't do anything that's not brand safe anyways. But if Twitch is running algorithms in the background that show, like, if you're, like, repeatedly timing out and banning people, then it's something you gotta keep in mind. He reached 100 bans. This is a certain level of hell. I'm gonna keep checking the shakas because if they steal something, I mean that's like an extra card, right? Wasn't that with like Lucky Cat too? Cut tail. It's not even worth it. I mean, I don't... What is the tail damage? Let me pull it up. Brachydios takes 35 damage on his tail. I mean, I guess that's like his third best hit zone. God, his hit zones suck. 35 is actually okay for, like, Bracky. Like, if you just, like, pretend other monsters don't exist. Have you updated the monster list or not? No. I'm sorry. I let you down. It's only an extra carve. It's, like, not even, like... I don't know. I just don't even know that it's worth it. I guess we'll go for Explorer. Why not? Get some, maybe a couple Time Worn charms. Get ourselves an Attack 10 charm, maybe. I have no idea what's available in high rank. If you get 10 cuts, that's an extra 20%. That's not exactly how the probability works, but I guess it's a simple way to break it down. Yeah, it's 10 more 2% chances. It's like, let's see if I can get it right. It's like 18% chance. His tail is okay. He just doesn't normally, like, leave it in a good area. It is a very satisfying tail cut, though, when it comes, like, popping off. That's nice. Not gonna be able to watch UFC tonight? It feels like they're doing a lot of, like, matches lately. Does UFC just do, like, one thing a month now? Seem like they're busy. What are the fighting styles in UFC now? What are people doing for the most part? Seeing anything interesting, or is it all still just like kneeing and grappling on the ground for the most part? Water bending? Wait, what? Kickboxers versus wrestlers? And then like people that are like a little bit of both? A little bit of karate? Really? I feel like karate wouldn't translate super well for whatever reason. I don't know if that was worth it or not. I guess there's a 1% chance. Coward streamer running away. 90% of fighters do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I thought, like, wasn't Muay Thai, like, getting really popular? Or is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just very similar to Muay Thai? I'm going to sound really dumb right now because I really honestly don't know. I just know Muay Thai has a lot of, like, knees and elbows. And that sounds, like, pretty good. Is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like, the same? Has anyone ever come in and done, like, capoeira and just, like... like, done, like, a sick spin on the ground and then, like, kick somebody in the face, or no? They're polar opposites. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is all grappling, and then Muay Thai is all striking. There's a capoeira guy? I would watch the capoeira guy. Does he do good? He probably just has a lot of fans because people want to see him do the capoeira. Wow. Actual iframe. He's too YOLO to do well? I mean, he may not do well, but people might want to watch him anyways. I mean, what matters is if they sell tickets, right? When's drunk style? We're all here for the whole one day. Keep punching in your tickets to see the whole. That was just a good opportunity for up-down, okay. Like, this is a good opportunity for up-down. Right in the first. Up down is new meta in MMA. I have no idea what that means. Does breaking the pounders even give, like, a chance for gems? I'm assuming the horn break has a gem chance. Obviously, the tail break has a gem chance. Maybe I should just be going for the tail. I'm pretty sure we have enough pounders. We're farming for a plate? Technically a gem. Love using the Switch X in Frontier even though Blast sucks bad. What was it good for? I'm assuming it was good on some specific monsters, and then it was probably decent for breaking parts, maybe? His, like, side steps, like, they're almost kind of like a hunter's side steps. Useless against everything. Wow. Strong words. That was easy. It's actually a decent hit zone when he's enraged, because you don't really want to be standing at his face that often. Fist and horn breaks don't have gems at all? No way. Okay. Even giving a weapon 3,000 blast wasn't enough? Jesus. Compared to what? Element? Or like poison? Or para? Or sleep? Imagine 3,000 blast. Yeah, it would be fun to see like non-stop explosions. According to fandom. Let's just see. Items. Gems. Body carve, tail carve, shiny drop, capture. Yep, you're right. Monsters just mutated fallen hunters? I'm into it. I mean, you've seen Legambi. Mini Legambi in Portable Third was definitely a human at one point. What am I farming for? I want to get the upgrade for his Switch Axe. Honestly, legitimately, the fastest way to farm it would be to get the 3 people with me. And just, like, farm up golden veggie elder tickets. So we're trying to go solo as much as we can, so. How much do I care about Monster Hunter lore stuff? I like my own headcanon more so than official lore. Although official lore is good because, like, it's vague. I can get sometimes annoyed by, like, fan theories. Like, they see one picture in one book and they're like, hunters were originally secret bioweapons that had robot suits that fought super large monsters. That's not my Monster Hunter. You get some... I don't use this word lightly. Cringy. Some very cringy stuff out there. Doing multiplayer for GOG? No, I could solo GOG. GOG is in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, though. He's not in this movie. The only reason I wanted to have multiplayer was if we needed to do 4-point formation to unlock Abyssal, but I think we're going to be okay. Just go for that. Yeah, I like a tiny world with primitive weapons fighting monsters. That's what I like. I don't need to know politics or anything. Like, am I opposed to learning things about, like, you know, the blacksmithing process and stuff like that? No, that stuff is good. It was in an art book as a discarded concept. I mean, there's an art book that talks about magic in Monster Hunter, and they're like, we're not doing magic in Monster Hunter. But somebody could take that and be like, magic originally in Monster Hunter? You know, it all depends on. I mean, look. I mean, I'm not gonna crap anyone's headcanon. If you like it, good. I'm just saying for me personally. And I play the game a lot. Like, equal Draken Weapon is a Frankenstein monster?
Just resubscribed for 22 months.
Alright, thank you. Fortunately, my Twitch account doesn't show up that at all. I carved the tail, and I got, like, an even shell or something. Got nothing. Elatran does talk to you. He says, hey. He 100% says that. I've heard him. He says it every time. I mean, I'd be interested in, like, trading, stuff like that. You know, like, how the current civilization adapts ancient civilization stuff. Like, it's fine to me that there was an ancient civilization with, like, really advanced technology. I like that. But I don't care about that society. I care about the society that we're in now. Oh. That is simply a... Monster Hunter economic? Yeah, I'm into that. I'm kind of into that. Like, you know, like, is there, like, what's the common currency? Is it like honey? I can see honey being very important. This is bad. You know, the more primitive the Monster Hunter, the more I enjoy it. Like, I was not... Like, part of the reason I didn't like Gen U as much is, like, by the end, like, you're flying around on multiple airships, shooting down supply drops like it's freaking Call of Duty. I just thought that was kind of dumb. Because it is. I mean, Zenny's been a currency in, like, every monster... every, like... many Capcom games. It's not just Monster Hunter. How my games going? Good. I think this is our third Brachydios of the day. Third and probably not last. Gonna get his blue sharpness though. It's gonna be a huge upgrade. I mean, the airships are neat. It's just like, I don't know. Just doesn't, not my Monster Hunter. He's got to be so close to capture. Go limp. I dare you. The Balloon Man is canon? Oh yeah, well that guy, yeah. I mean, that's, you know, I'm okay with like a single like hot air balloon. That makes sense. Just like when they start like strapping like Barioth stuffs to like airships to keep up with Valstrax. Like, what are you doing? The airships in World? That one's a little bit okay. Because that, again, that's like basically like a glorified hot air balloon. You're not like zooming around after a Valstrax of it. Steam-powered cruisers? I could see them giving us, like, real mounts in Monster Hunter World 2. Like, not Palamutes. Just full-on, like, monster rides constantly. Palamutes are better than mounts? They're so powerful. Why are they so strong? Monsties? Yeah. Maybe something like a Monstie. I don't know. I mean, they're definitely going to go more open world for the next game. It just feels like it. Like, they're going to want to take advantage of, like, super fast SSDs. No gem. Was this just, like... What if it was just, like, the stream of a man who just farmed for gems forever? That's what this turned into. Oh, I can 100% see, like, Elden Ring's stealing the thunder of Monster Hunter. And that they're going to be... I mean, they're technically be out first. Mind you, I'm not a huge fan of open world. Like, I'm on the record of, like, not... Generally, like, not being a huge fan of it. But, I mean, it is what it is. Some people really love it. Maybe if Elden Ring does it really well, I'll change my mind. Dragon's Dogma 3. They're just going to skip Dragon's Dogma 2. Isn't Breath of the Wild the game that brought back attention to open world? I mean, they're the first game that really, to me at least, did a really, really good job. The only thing that came kind of close before that was Metal Gear Solid 5. But Metal Gear Solid 5 was like a little weird. A lot weird? It wasn't a perfect game, but it was a good game. And it definitely had some open world sort of stuff going on. Oh, does he have... Oh, he's gone. Never mind. I was supposed to check him. It was unfinished. Good game. Great, great engine. You like Witcher 3's approach? What was my issue with Witcher 3? Oh, yeah, the combat sucked. Combat in the game was brutal. Cool. Wolf. I don't think that's a controversial opinion either. Quests were real good. I feel like the way to play The Witcher 3 is literally just put it on easy, steamroll everything, and just, like, enjoy the story. I've never played it like that, but I feel like that's the way to do it. It was fun, 16 gun, for, like, a couple hours. It just never really grew. You know, the few times where, like, you've got to put together, like, a long chain of, like, preparations and stuff for a fight, that's pretty neat. But then it's, like, everything else, as you're running around doing things, is just bad. I mean, Skyrim's melee combat, at the very least, like, I don't know, it fits Skyrim. And, like, I'm not saying Witcher 3 is a bad game. Like, just remove all combat and just replace it with more Gwent. The first hour of Witcher 3 spoiled the ending of the last book before it was released in English. How is that possible? Didn't, like, the author for Witcher, like, have major beef with the game studios? Why would he give them, like, the unreleased stuff? Oh, Witcher 1 is real bad. Like a mouse-clicking rhythm game? Kind of, is how I remember that. It was...
486 JK just resubscribed for 32 months.
486, thank you. Never played Witcher 2. Don't know how the... How was the combat in Witcher 2? Like, I don't even know. I own it. I've never played it. I watched the first cutscene, and the first cutscene for Witcher 2 was actually... It's kind of amazing. There's a guy, like, tweaking out, throwing, like, alchemical bombs and stuff. Good cutscene. Can't speak for anything else. I don't know. I'm going to get some people really mad at me, but I enjoyed the Witcher Netflix series. Any part with Ciri was really bad, but every part with Geralt was really good. Or Yennefer. Felt like it was just like padding. Hey, nothing wrong with hating Netflix. If you don't like them, good. They suck. Yeah, I feel like Henry Cavill could play almost anything and be very good in the role. They got Netflix for Tall Girl? Never heard of it. What is it? It's really bad. So why did you get it for something really bad? Oh, you're just baiting me? Okay, never mind. I'm just dumb. Never mind. Haunting of Hill House was okay. The sequel was not as good as the original, but also okay. I don't mind the idea of like an ensemble cast that gets together every 1 or 2 years to put together a spooky series. That's fine. You like the Dota anime? You know, I bet you it's probably pretty well done. Is that a Netflix thing? Haunting of Bly Manor was so much better? Really? I mean, I like them both. You know what Hill House may have had? It was the first one, so it had the novelty, right? So for Bly Manor to be better, it doesn't just need to be better, it needs to be better and then also exceed the novelty of like a new ensemble cast doing like horror stuff. But yeah, I mean, Bly Manor doesn't, is not like full on in your face nonstop horror in the way that Haunting of Hill House attempts to be. It depends how many ghosts you want. Yeah, Bly Manor was a better story. There's no question about that. I agree with that. I don't think there's any arguing it. I want to stay away from spoilers. I don't want to spoil anyone who hasn't seen it, but there are definitely aspects of Haunting of Hill House that full on, like, craps its pants at a certain point. I'll just say sometimes less is more. So it hurts, hello. You don't gotta explain everything. It's just like Monster Hunter. You don't gotta explain everything. How does he turn around so quickly? Anyone have any suggestions as to what you should eat? You can't just like throw that out there. You gotta give us choices. What are your choices? Pizza? A sandwich? Chicken wings? Chicken wings are expensive now. I think I could probably cut this, or at least get the point. Alright, we got the tail. Oh, you're boycotting IGN? How are you even consuming IGN content? You don't go to their website, do you? Two quesadillas? That sounds good. But when we get a gem, we will likely end up getting 2 gems. That's my current prediction. I mean, I've certainly never typed the letters IGN.com into a website before. Personally. I mean, have we all ended up clicking on an IGN YouTube video? I mean, sure, yeah. Developers reacting to speedruns is an interesting concept of a video series. You slept for too long? It's 4 p.m. Were you napping or did you go to bed at like 5 in the morning? Wait, what? I see a shiny there. It's probably a Bracky shiny too. I don't have any Chocolates to help though. There's 2 shinies now. Slept at 3 a.m. And you slept until 4 p.m.? Was that 13 hours? Are you okay? We gotta go for it. Right? This is a Saturday? Doesn't that screw you up though for like a week? We got a mystery slime. That's better than nothing. Oh wow, look at that. I think that hit. I think that hit his head. I don't really like farming Bracky. You know, my issue with him is when he's in rage, he doesn't trip. If he could trip while in rage, he'd be a great fight. But the fact when he gets in rage, it feels like he's always moving and you never really have any good openings. Feels really bad. I mean, he's definitely a very unique concept for a monster. And in that regards, did I ever get the tail card? there any other subspecies aside from raging? I don't think so. Looking handsome today? Thank you, Arkham. I didn't do anything today. I laid around and I played my little dungeon crawler game. Had a lot of fun doing that. There needs... Zero sum should take up half the screen. Dungeon crawling game? I've been playing a game called Undernauts. It's by a Japanese game developer called Experience, I think? They're unique in that they're like one of the few Japanese developers who've actually created a number of Xbox 360 exclusive games. Like JRPGs, like on the Xbox 360. Best type of M&M? Gonna go with caramel? Caramel or peanut, probably. Depending on how allergic you are to peanuts. Underknots, yep. I got a little concept art here. Where is it? That's what it looks like. That's the concept art for the game. You're like modern day Japanese like citizens. You're like office workers, manga artists, unemployed people. And you get hired to go into a dungeon and try and get energy. It's called Argon in the game, Argon Energy. And so it's like you modern day Japanese people, but you've got like all these like fantasy medieval trope classes that you have. Like one of them's really funny. Like, I mean, ultimately, like it's all polish, right? But like I've got an ex-gymnast who's working as my ninja. I just think it's hilarious. She's in her like gymnast outfit. In her art. Yeah, I've got a former policewoman with a bow. She shoots things with her bow. Some of them are, I mean, they're all unrealistic, obviously. Some are more unrealistic than others. What's it called? Underknots? It's a little expensive right now. It's $60. Can we see another figure after the Bracky? I'm running out of figures, you know that. Don't think this is going to be a normal routine. Yeah. But if you're really into dungeon crawlers, I could say they definitely do a good job. Just came out in the US. I think it's been in Japan for like a year. Gameplay reminds me of Veteran Odyssey. I mean, you know, modern dungeon crawlers all borrow a little bit from each other, right? It's just kind of like what sort of flavor you want and how difficult you want it to be. I could say so far it's not incredibly difficult. Some of their games have a reputation for being extremely difficult. This one's fine. Like some of the games have like permadeath or near permadeath, which you can imagine is horrifying. In this game, you could bring your guys back if they die, but you got to go back to your base camp. If they die in the field, they're just like dead. I mean, presumably there might be an item or ability that brings them back later, but not that I've seen it. Should I just go for the kill? It's one more 2% chance. Did I ever get the Sentinel figure? I think Smugfox said he was going to send it to me. I never got it. I don't know. He's in the stream, or he was. I don't know if that's actually still coming or not. Have you seen Asuka? I think you have my backstrap. This one, Jen does not like. I don't know why. Well, Slay is technically better chances. You get 3 chances at 2% rather than 2 chances at 2%. She is all legs. My favorite thing to do is hold her up next to Chris Redfield and just, like, compare how long their legs are. Like, he is so much larger than her, and yet their legs are basically the same length. I've shown my wife my figures. I mean, my stream room isn't, like, padlocked. No, don't come in here. I mean, she can come in if she wants. They're both alive. It's been a while since she's come in. She was on stream the other day. Within the last month, at least. There's no padlock on the hentai room. It's not a hentai room. It's an anime room. No. I can't hide snacks in the stream room, Albino Donkey. She'll yell at me. That's how you get ants. I mean, you don't want to eat in rooms other than your kitchen. You don't want to start leaving a trail of crumbs around for ants and stuff to find. I mean, we both feel the same way about it. I have eaten here before, like, if I'm streaming really late, I'm getting, like, really hungry. It's not like it's never happened. It's fine if you clean up, but, like, you're never going to get everything. I'm not messy at all when I eat, but... Now the game's not even trying. Was it like 5 rewards? You did get a tail. You know, I have not seen either of them use Shock Trapper. Like, what's the deal with that? Do you have to signal them? I'm not gonna... I mean, yeah, I might go a little wild when I'm eating fried chicken, but that's why I eat it downstairs. It's fine, actually. Doesn't matter. We don't combine anything mid-quest anyways. I mean, we're going to be able to make nearly full Bracky armor after this if we want. At this rate. So I still have the beanbag in the stream room. I've never had a beanbag in the stream room, so I'm trying to figure out what you're thinking of. The pillow? The wedge pillow? Still no gem. No. Nope. Oh, the bag of beans. Yes. No, I do not. I brought that downstairs. Seeing if attack up small and challenger +2 is possible. Why is challenger so hard to get? Pretty soon I'm going to be looking at making 3-piece Bracky for Challenger +1. I've been thinking about buying a beanbag, but they're like really expensive. And then I'm like, I should just make my own. And then I'm like, I don't want to make my own. So it's like a vicious cycle. I should check to see if the granny's selling meat. I don't have a Hinata body pillow. I was never sent one. I was sent every other one. Except for Hinata. No justice. Get a nice futon? That's probably better. But I don't know. There's something about a beanbag. It seems pretty comfy to me. I was very confused. Oh, that might be a good thing, Chaos. That means you probably won't get called back for like another year. At least. I've definitely had situations before where like they say you got to do jury duty and I'm legitimately busy and I postpone it and then they're just like, all right, don't worry about it. That's kind of nice when you get that. I don't mind. I mean, the 2 jury duties that I almost served on, one was a murder. Straight up, I think it was like gang violence. And I actually got selected for it. But the guy ended up settling, pleading guilty. Is it that bad? Don't you get lunch? I mean, you're still stuck doing something that you don't want to do, and you're not really paid much to do it. I mean, it's the right thing to do, obviously. Like, if you get summoned for it, like, you should obviously do your best to be a good juror. There's a boring fraud case? I don't know, fraud could be interesting. Depending on what the fraud is. Did we just walk past each other? I bet you we did. No. A friend of yours got out of jury duty for saying she was a prison abolitionist? I mean, if she's legitimately one, then I guess that's fair. Speedrunning fraud? I mean, those guys have gone to court before, I think. Over the allegations. Over speedrunning? I mean, Billy Mitchell has a hot sauce business where his main claim to fame is his Pac-Man records, and so for him personally, I mean, if somebody's saying that he's not a good Pac-Man player, he didn't really do what he said he did, then he wants to try and preserve that reputation. I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying why he would sue people. Waiting for my summons over the turbo controversy. Oh, I'd love to have that day in court. Oh, boy. One jury duty served was a murder that exposed a multi-million-dollar heist back in 2018. Oh, did some of the robbers kill each other? Oh, that's actually kind of scary. Doesn't look like Monster Hunter World. It's a Brachydios. It's a Switch Axe. What else do you need? He's living in lava. I wish I knew what the tell was when he was going to do the double hit versus the single punch. Don't kill me. Please. Please. I feel like for you, Bracky, like, you've got a lot more options, because, like, you could ride the guy. Which does the true damage that he desperately needs. Although I guess for you, Bracky, he was pretty hard. Jesus Christ! The survivors massacred each other? What the hell? You got millions of dollars! You're like, go away! It's never enough. Or it's like not trusting each other, presumably. Try and get the kill. 9 and only 2 survived? That's 9 people. That's a lot of people to get together to try and perform a heist. That's like, if you can't all fit in one car, that's too many people. We'll go for the tail again. For less than Danny Ocean? Reasonable, I guess. What if the car is a VW bus? I don't know how that would perform in a high-speed chase against the police. Was there a chase? Was there like... How did they do their heist? I love heist stuff. I mean, it's sad because like this is a real life heist, obviously. So, I'm sure. Well, obviously some people got hurt and killed, but I feel like it's like a human nature sort of thing. I'm assuming it was just like an inside job, like some people worked at whatever place was being heisted. Renopolis got in the way. God damn it. Did Kayamba just mock me by saying he saw a bright light? Yo, quiet Kayamba, man. Lore-wise, I would be the most prolific monster hunter within the universe of Monster Hunter. Leave some for the rest of us! What do you think the official endgame lore explanation is there for the speedrunners that constantly go in, hit a monster, and then just abandon? But then they kill monsters really, really fast occasionally. Oh my god. I kidnapped someone? That's awful. That's really sad. There was a situation like that in my state. It was actually a situation cross country where a bank robber was going from state to state and kidnapping executives and getting them to take out money for him. Fortunately, in that case, nobody like physically, like violently really got hurt at all. But he did some crazy stuff. And as far as I know, it was just like one guy doing it. Executives aren't people? Don't say that. I mean, in a lot of cases, he was going after small to medium business sizes. You know, places that would have money on hand necessarily, that wouldn't have like super high security. The really sad thing is the guy he did it to. The whole situation was weird because people thought like the guy made it up. And then they found the guy that kidnapped him. They're like, oh, we're sorry. You didn't make it up. The police didn't help though. They're like, we're treating the suspect as a person of interest. Like, why would you say that? All right, hold on. I gotta sit and read this. They got caught 2 years later waiting for the money to rinse and clean, but somebody spent some of it too soon and brought heat on them. And then apparently they fought over the money, demanding more of the share to get out of the area. And a guy and his girl planned to kill everyone and take it all, but they turned on each other and they killed the rest of the group. Oh my god! Jesus! The thing is like, when you're on a jury for that in real life, you're not thinking like, wow, that's badass. You're like, holy crap, I'm so scared right now. Give me a gem, please. I will perform a heist for this gem. You don't think you can bow Lao? I don't think there's any fortify in Freedom Unite, so you're stuck with just adrenaline or feline heroics. No, that's like insane. That's like almost beyond GTA. Like, that's the funny thing is like sometimes real life is just like creepier. Oh. Let's shot as I can. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's crazy, 16. That's insane. Now the gang-related murder that I was on the trial for, I mean, the guy just looks sad and scared. You know, he wasn't injured in any way. He was obviously just involved in something. It got in over his head. He was young. He was definitely in his early 20s. And these Raptors are tough. Taking the hits. I don't think that hit. That feels really bad. Bilbo, it only works for certain elders where repelling will keep their health. It does not work for Lao, it does not work for Shen, as far as I know. But considering they're walking hit zones, like walking training poles. It's actually kind of funny you never see glacial or rock tours, huh? No normal purple Ludroths? Purple Ludroth kind of makes sense for some reason for me. Because that could just be like a normal Ludroth that got himself into some poison. What? Oh, that's so weird. Wasn't that weird? He got flinched out of his explosion. That's a lot of damage if he hits you with his horn. Head on. There's a lore behind Black Bravios? Extra crispy, I guess? I don't know. I mean, he's got a lot of similarities to normal Gravios. Like, he's still weak to water. You think that hit? I like how every zero sum I do, I just look over a chat. You think that hit? Legitimately true how Blue Kukru feels more different. Oh no. No, 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 no. People can turn blue if they have too much silver. The colloidal silver guy. I know that guy. I mean, those are people that are like deliberately consuming silver for whatever reason they think it's got health benefits. I saw the Blue Band group once. They were fun. It was a fun group. They sure do wear a lot of makeup. When you leave the show, if you want them to sign your program, they just like rub their thumb on their blue oily head. Please. I don't know. I never saw Stomp, no. Please. Please. So quest rewards, by the way, are 1%. I think it's 1%. I don't think it's 2%. Been doing this for like 2 hours now. It's not a chance. What is my favorite 90s movie? I don't know. It's a hard question. 90, that's a long 10 years. What piece am I trying to get? Trying to get the gem. Fifth Element's pretty good. When was Die Hard made? Was that the 80s? End of the 80s? Early 90s? It's a good movie. I mean, we take a look at it. Let's just see how much stuff we have, like, in excess. Still only have 6-pounders, actually. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, I was born in... ...1994, right? 1988. Oh, that's close. I mean, I'm not going to be finding a Bracky unless I go out of my way to fight it. Like, that's not gonna work. Might be nice to get him like in a trap when he's exhausted. I don't know, it's just an idea. Why, how come these guys never use the shock trapper? Like, you guys, I gave you Shock Trapper for a reason. I'm just assuming you're never going to do it. So if you're not going to use Shock Trapper, then... Carver low? Only activates after 7 minutes of staying in a zone? That's like impossible. That'll like never go off. I guess I should probably get cool drinks. Monsters almost never stay 7 minutes in one zone. I mean, rarely. If you're in the arena, I mean, it's no problem. But... This is the Monster Hunter we deserve. But man, a high rank drop rate of like 1 to 2% is pretty intense. When you think about it, compared to modern standards. You're going to be streaming Elden Ring? I'll probably stream Elden Ring, yeah. After watching the gameplay the other day, it looks like a lot of fun. That's really cool. Jesus Christ, Cha-Cha! What the hell, dude? He went in for that. He was like, I'm gonna end this Brachydios' whole career. Dude, the League of Legends Keck, Heimerdinger Keck is like apparently causing a lot of issues on this website. Pink Rathian does not have her own plate. Sometimes she's got a better chance at dropping plates though. It depends on the game, depends on the ring. I mean, if you're typing in emotes, some extensions will autocomplete, and it's like defaulting to the League of Legends one. Yeah. For whatever reason, for some people. I think Fog it was messing with yesterday. got a Wrath Ruby once from the silver tier. Rathalos, right? Not Rathian. Has to be a money laundering operation? I mean, people play it. Right? Oh, I'm completely numb now, guys. Like, I'm not gonna get mad. Like, it is what it is. It's got an anime? Is it League or Dota that has the anime? I guess it is League, isn't it? Time to open the card packs. Oh, Legends of Runeterra. I like that game. We got a sponsorship for it. I don't have to do it, but I'm kind of thinking we're going to do it. I'm assuming that's why they're... What? What data? Okay. Thank you. What did you download? Would I accept help with the farm? I don't know if I would accept help farming Bracky, but I would accept help building up a friendship ticket. I wish there was another way of getting friendship tickets. Yeah, it's very difficult to get the Wii U working with multiplayer. You have to go in, you have to rip your Wii U like hardware tag essentially to play on Wii U servers with CMU. And even then, apparently, it still doesn't work with the official servers for Monster Hunter 3U. The only issue with Citra and multiplayer is, like, you got to do something. Like, either you have to hope that there's good enough public servers, or you have to do a direct connection with somebody else, which may or may not work. So, I've only seen him do that attack a couple times, the quad punch. I guess this is probably a bit better than watching me kill 100 Kutkus. At least that's my assumption. I could be wrong. There might be some Kutku fans in chat. I'll take that damage. Keku's one of the better bird weapons we've gotten. Well, he's got the most personality, right? I do wish he would randomly find a pot when he's digging around in the ground, and that the pot would be a one-hit kill. There's a master rank Kulu in Rise. He should definitely have that ability. Or just have him, like, rapid fire throwing rocks at you. Turn it into a bullet hell. Is that 20 years ago? Canonically, that is 14 years ago, right? I say I'm 27, and that's me at 13. That's me at 17. We're going to go with that. That's our story. But even though it's me 17, I named it Shed 13. Bright young lad at 13? Absolutely. It's a nice picture. I was asking Jen earlier today. I was showing her a comparison between a picture of me now and Shed 13. And I'm like, who would you rather take home to meet your parents? Who would you rather bring to a work function, and who would you rather bring home? Her answers might surprise you. Canonically, I look like that while jump shotting a kid? I mean, more similar to that than I look now. Neither? Taking the neighbor home. Don't worry, I'll have Jen back by 8. Forget if we ever went out and she had a curfew. I don't think so. We were both adults at that point. It wasn't like high school. I'll send, sending people on collections was not, that was not my responsibility. I just made the loads. Thank you. Amber, you healing? He looks like he's healing. If he doesn't explode first. With your support, we could bring Portable 3 to the West, and we never did. Because of some, like, weird technical crap of being like, we need a different version of Ad Hoc Party. Don't give us that crap. What was Jen's answer? What do you think her answer was? Look, I'm a stockholder now, Noxella. I'm increasing my stake in Capcom. I'm gonna show up at a meeting. Where's the Monster Hunter? Maybe I can see Ryozo again? Yeah. The funny thing is Noxella is like everyone in the community does so much more to manipulating Capcom games now, and we're actually treated better. That's the worst part. How much are Capcom stocks now? The NA stocks are like around like $20. That's a shame. That was not the head. That was a horn. I'm not going to buy the Japanese stocks. I would love to have them, but I'm not going to spend $50 just to buy their stocks. Would I ever consider doing a Sims 4 stream? I don't think it's like my type of content. What if we got everyone in chat to buy one Capcom stock? I haven't bought any bag chicken this month. We already had this conversation on I mean, there's got to be a point at which you own enough stock of a company to be like, I want you to make this, right? Like, there has to be. Organize that on Reddit like they did GameStop? I don't want to, like, I don't want people, like, accusing me of, like, doing, like, pumping and dumping. Wasn't I number 13 on the Twitch League? I was 3066. What I use to buy my stock? I use my Charles Schwab account. How do you buy a stock? You need to have an account with a brokerage. Am I gonna get in trouble with the SEC? It's zero commission on Charles Schwab. I think it's zero commission on Robinhood now too. That's where everybody mostly uses it. USAA likes Schwab. I like Schwab too. What's funny about that? There's no ATM fees anywhere in the world. If you're ever traveling anywhere, you get fully reimbursed from your withdrawals. You use any ATM. That's boomer tier? Whatever, man. Go tweak out on Robinhood with the other Reddit gambling addicts. Do not create a meme currency. Meme or no, I will ban you. No NFTs. No Buttcoin. Fidelity is easy transfer. You can sign up for a card. It's the same thing with Schwab. Like, what is it? I don't care. They're not paying me. Go use whatever you want. We did capture this time. You own the token for Shed Mold? What's this? Right click, save image as? Nice. All right. We're in it now. We actually still have to kill Azure Rathalos. There's no elemental slime, or maybe I would use that one. I'm assuming for... I mean, this is a dumb question. Like, Carapace is probably best by carve, right? It's a really dumb question. But... God, you need 5 Carapace? That's actually genuinely upsetting. It's going to be like 2 or 3 hunts, probably. Oh, actually, it's a much better drop rate from capture. I don't know what's better, 3 chances at 28 or 2 chances at 38. No, you can get them both. This game isn't Monster Hunter World. What am I gonna do? You gonna rat me out? Go ahead and do it, coward. Add rat jam. I should. I don't know how to do anything. I'd have to delete something. You wish you'd paid more attention to probability models? Yeah. And we've got Cat Jam. Cat Jam is pretty good. Use your Capcom dividends to buy more slots. I do set my stocks to reinvest their dividends. I don't even know if they pay a dividend, though. You use them to invest in more Capcom? I mean, they would automatically reinvest into themselves. So, yes. If they issued a dividend. And I like I said, I don't know that they do. I kind of want to get some Psycho Serum. I did little to no research into the Capcom stock. All I know is that they're down. They're down because they don't have any major games announced outside of, like, Sunbreak. But, like, they're definitely working on something, so. In the future, they might go up. So, even if they weren't down, I still think they'd go up. They're also one of the, at this point, few video game companies that has not decided to get into a cryptocurrency game, so I really, really hope that does not happen. Am I telling us to invest in capital? I'm not telling you to do anything. But you should probably invest some of your money, if you can, into something. This is not fine. I'm not a fiduciary. I am not an accountant. I never give you tax advice. This is probably, well, I mean, this isn't going to be as bad as, like, Dual Blades would have been. Why Azure Wrath now? We need Azure Rathalos Carapace to get our Brachydios upgrade. We also need Azure Rathalos because of the fact that we need Azure Rathalos. I convinced you to buy a bidet and it was the best advice you've ever got. What? the best advice you've ever gotten? Like you've never had anyone else give you any advice that has been better? That's pretty intense. Do you pay it forward by trying to convince your friends and family to also buy bidets? Aziraphilus is so weird. He's either tweaking out flying, or he's just standing completely still shooting fireballs at you. I did die. You want to get a bidet, but you don't have the flex hose mount things? Yeah. I mean, you just got to ask yourself if it's worth hiring a plumber. You rent anyways, right? Just don't do it yourself, because there was a guy in chat the other day whose sister tried to install a bidet and it ended up flooding their basement. Don't be that guy's sister. Was that on purpose? No. I mean, I installed mine. It was no problem. It's so easy. I mean, anyone who would go to install a bidet and not have the knowledge of how to turn off the water, A, to the toilet, and then B, to the whole house, should probably not be installing a bidet. Like, what did they think was going to happen when they pulled the hose out? I mean, there's no other... I did not get the full story, but I mean, there's literally no other explanation, right? I mean... Why is the tail so hard? I don't remember that being a thing. No, my face! Yo, I'm getting my ass kicked. Stop! I'm on fire. I'm poisoned. I'm stunned. Get out of the way! Ah! The more hands-on as you're... Hands-on, not like hands in my ass, moving me around like a goddamn sock puppet. I hope we'll be fine though. I'm sure all of you nerds in chat are the ones that are always like picking the options like, oh, I just want to tickle their buttholes and call them my best friend. Look, it's not always the best way to get ahead. I hope that hit. I feel like the zero sum has like zero range. Hey, maybe that's why they call it zero sum. It's actually technically elemental. literally getting botted by an it. When I get bullied, it's called release of feast because you don't understand. Still not enraged? This is amazing. And when he's enraged, it's just like pure terror. Yeah, this water really messes with the performance. Like, I think I see the most frame drops, like, around here. This is low rank armor? Technically, yeah. I mean, and obviously, you know, Legiacris does not have good fire resistance. You know, it has all the skills that I want, so I don't really see much of a sense in making something else, like, just for more defense. Like, it doesn't really matter. We get 50 more defense than we should have in the first place anyway, so it really balances out. I guess he's gonna go eat in 2. I think he eats in 2. He eats in 2 or 3. Either way, we should probably go to 2. Is he not really exhausted? That might be just enough health so I die here. Literally never punished. Oh, he's already ready for capture? The hell? Okay. It's debatable what's better. Might just do the capture. It'll end the quest faster. Is gold and silver with weird hit zones? Yeah, they're depending on the game, it's like either their wings or their legs. Sometimes in some games you could break their heads and their heads become weak spots, but not all games. We're getting screwed over. I already know it. I know it. I know it. We're getting screwed over. I know it. Because he doesn't really, like, walk. He, like, only, like, really flies. Oh, the... Prove me wrong. Cat carry? Those aren't cats, but okay. He didn't really walk. He still didn't walk, right? He just barely, like, wiggled around. It was enough. Alright, almost no way we're gonna get 5 Carapace out of this. It's not, like, impossible, but it's very unlikely. But it didn't take that long. Staying in front of his face is a gamble. I mean, normally you want to be on the side of his face, right? Without earplugs, yeah, it's a big deal. I'll take 3. That's not bad. It's a bizarre thing about a hunter taking time to catch butterflies. It is strange. It's probably why they got rid of bugs. All right, we'll just do that again. Maybe maybe we'll make like a couple flash bombs. Could make things like a little bit easier. But it's satisfying knowing that I only need 2. Hope I'm enjoying the weapon. We got a long way to go. And 2 hours here will save like 5 hours later. At least that's my theory. I could be wrong. Will it, though? I mean, we gotta go all the way through G rank. Like 2 streams behind on Bracky hunts? What do you mean by that? We hunted Bracky once. We killed him first time. It took 2 hours to farm Bracky. This stream is the stream that was spent farming for the Bracky Switch Axe. So it took a total of like 3 hours to get it. I mean, I think about like, it's going to have blue sharpness. It's going to have like a little bit more slime. It has 20 more raw. It's disgusting. The goo stream? I'm not going to stop you from calling it the goo stream. No, 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 no. Ah! Literally grazed my butt cheeks. Jesus Christ. So my least favorite thing, Jesus, is that when he's like floating in midair. What is this? He hasn't landed at all. So much. I mean, it's not worse than the last one. I technically haven't died yet. What do we get? One good flash off? Oh, shoot. Oh my god, you have to mash so hard to get out of this? This is insane. So I didn't whiff all of my flash bombs. At least I got a dunk out. Should have brought Pooter bombs. You're right. Should have. He's got some very... I hate to give him a compliment. He's got some very interesting air combos. I'll give him that. Like one hit away from going. He's about to run though. I still maintain that, like, imagine being, like, a young Japanese child, like, a young teenager who loved Monster Hunter 1 and then was given Monster Hunter G for, like, you know, like their birthday or Christmas or whatever. And, like, the monster that they were looking forward to was Azure Rathalos, and how mad they would be. I would be mad. I would be like, what is this? What is this monster? Why is he always in the air? Guess we're gonna lose our exhaust this time. People have standards back then? I mean, I guess maybe a teenager would. I guess at the end of the day, it was still more game. Do you even know what a good fight was? Well, they probably knew that Rathalos, who was already horrible for flying in Monster Hunter 1, was now blue and flying even more. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess we have to try the fight out someday, right? To really know. I mean, green sharpness was a big deal in Monster Hunter 1. Were people think it was so horrible back then? All I'm gonna say is the game only really got, like, really popular with Freedom Unite. I mean, you look at the sales. It was an amazing concept for a game. Just wasn't fully fleshed out. No, I mean, Rathalos was still in the game. I think the fire resistance that I ate for actually saved me this one. We had just the right amount of health. We're still at -9 fire resistance? Does it cost a lot of hard materials to upgrade your Bracky Switch Axe? Yes. It took a Bracky gem. It took us 2 hours to get it. There's still some games that are translated into English that have subspecies not explicitly referred to, outside of maybe a quest description. Hell, even in Freedom Unite, I don't think it separates out the monsters by subspecies at all in terms of your hunt list. What do I need Adzir for, and for what? I need 5 of his carapaces to upgrade my Switch Axe. That works. He almost got me. That's some really tricky moves. Go for the shiny. What the hell? Oh. They just killed him. Well, all right, let's hope for just one carb would be perfect. Why did I just get 2 medullas in a row? Ah, there we go. All right, I'm happy. I'm satisfied with that. Yeah, I mean, in a way, Azure Rathalos became the flagship in NA, right? Was it Bracky in Europe? Am I really happy? I'm actually really happy. I mean, I would have been happier if we got 2 carapaces, but 1 is good. It's a good chance for quest rewards. It's a good chance for breaking the head can give you a carapace. Oh, Nananhaj, hello. Sorry I missed your comment. I'm doing all right. We're approaching probably the halfway point in this challenge that I've been doing. EU is Azure in the cover art? Wow. That is another 3 carapace. Wow, we would have almost had it. 1 and done. I think he's a key quest anyways. All right, going in. Oh, wow. That upgrade isn't that bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, I know there's going to be another great upgrade that's going to take like a medulla or whatever. But we can at least get it to like a pretty good state without even needing something like a medulla or whatever. Pallium? Is it a Brack Pallium? Wait, well, can't you just mine all fire normally? Do you have to get it from Oregon? So we need a power charm and an armor charm. What skills does Oregon have 3U? Is it the same as try? Almost definitely not the same. Because... why? I'll show you his high rank armor. Wait, I don't know if I fought him in high rank yet. I can show you his low rank armor. Defense, stamina drain, and bomb boost. The gunner vest is okay. Baroth, huh? Baroth can give us 4. This is gonna be my high rank armor. We're kind of using it. Like, I could get attack up large if I went out of my way for it. Defense is probably comfy. I mean, defense is just like such a waste. I do want to get that power charm. I mean, normal up is a... I mean, it's a skill. Can you buy the charms in Tanzania? I don't think so. I mean, if you can, you probably have to get, like, up to high rank, right? High rank in Tanzania. Yeah, I mean, normal 3 had Ricochet all the way through Generations Ultimate, didn't it? This is great. Speed Bullfongo season. I was looking at it, and Baroth isn't even particularly weak to poison in this game, unfortunately. It's unfortunate. I see a great Jaggy lurking. Does this experience make me question his poison weakness? I mean, it's just like relative to slime. He just doesn't take good poison damage. Getting distracted. No! Why no heal? I had an opening. Why would I heal? There's no... This is the Moga Woods. As far as I know, there's no penalty for carding here. So in some ways it was faster, although much, much more shameful to cart than it was to actually heal. They're like clowning on me. Stop it, Baroff! I mean, Gen U doesn't... Let's just say it doesn't have the same 3U magic. Yeah, I don't like the way Baroff looks in this area either. He is super cursed, just like trolling around in the mud. You want to experience the GU stuff, but you don't want to play GU. If you just stay to hub only, especially like with a friend or two, you'll be fine. I think everything you could possibly want in GU unlocks through the hub. I don't think there's any village exclusive monsters either. New weapons from the next main title monster? New weapons? As in multiple new weapons? I think they're already struggling to keep up with the number of weapons that they need to make models and stuff as it is. I kind of like what they're doing with switch skills. Lesser extent to wire bug moves, but switch skills is kind of the way to go. Some deviants require village quests? Oh no. Well, I mean, if I just need to kill one of everything in GU... Technically, I only need to do the deviants, but we're saying some deviants require you to do village quests. That's really unfortunate. gives you my main save for GU? Oh, that would be so nice. You know, the main save doesn't even have, like, technically everything unlocked in it. There's still stuff that needs to be done. I'm worried I'm gonna kill him. Just wait and see if he starts limping. $400 hours of enjoyable grinding? It's not gonna be 400 hours. 200? What? He goes there? What? I mean, Izue, I mean, if you haven't played Monster Hunter Rise, that's basically what they did. They just took all the stuff and they put it in, you know, you switch certain moves around. All right, don't let me down, buddy. I would love to have a area kind of like that in the next Monster Hunter game. Like this, the rare trade stuff is actually kind of fun. I used to try and collect every unique rare commodity. I thought that was enjoyable. Oh, hold on, I do need to talk to you. What? Do I get nothing for the barrel? I got a Bolfongo Fang. Let's check the port anyway. Maybe the port does have them. You don't know what guild quest you have on your 4U save? Got those Tanzia chips. They got something to say? Buy them? Alright. No, Tanzia chips exclusive. What are they called? I guess 4U has the pink meat, right? What's in Generations? I don't know. I need to eat some Tanzia chips myself. I'm getting hangry. Well, I'm gonna leave. A little bit of a short stream, but we got our weapon. Next stream, we're gonna get our power charm. And we're gonna finish High Rank Village. GU save is 213 hours solo with everything unlocked and cleared. So that's not too bad. Am I going to get a hamburger? I'm going to visit my father-in-law. He's buying Chinese food. I'm not going to eat a weird turkey burger. Fight Village Elatrian. We are not going to be unlocking Village Elatrian. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. Thank you, the mods. Everyone for watching. Everyone who subscribed. Thank you. Appreciate you. Probably no stream tomorrow. I got to break into a car tomorrow, so I'm going to be busy doing that. Well, I'll see you guys on Monday. Get a Chinese burger? What are those called? Oh, Mushu pork, right? It's pretty good, right? Maybe we will ask for that, yeah. All right, we'll see. All right, I'm leaving. I love you. Goodbye.